Bookshelf. Okay. Hello. We're doing something a little bit different today in many ways. Okay, this is part of my vacation. I have no makeup on. I'm in my pajamas. And we're in my spare bedroom. I am gonna be filling this thing with shoes, and the cat is crying in the background. Is this the closest I've ever come to a vlog? Maybe. Can you hear Stinky? I can certainly hear him. And so I don't know how this is gonna go. This is new. We're in new territory, and that's fine, because if this is terrible, you'll never know. I just don't have to load it up. Which is actually a really comforting thought with YouTube. Where was I going? Yes. We are in my spare bedroom. We do have a bed. The frame is behind that door. Everything in here is kind of a mess, so you are very centered in on this piece because everything else is a little bit of a disaster. In case you're curious, you're currently balanced on a very, very beat up sofa. Okay, the corners are destroyed from the cats. Totally destroyed. And if you have pets, naughty little pets with claws, and you can't get them to scratch the thing they're supposed to scratch, well, they do scratch those things, it's just that they want to scratch everything. The Performance Velvet from West Elm, the sofas, oh, they're so nice. There's not one single like bit of wear on the sofa that we got, I guess last December. It was part of a Black Friday deal, and I convinced Ben after like half a bottle of wine that we should get a new sofa. So the old one is in here. You're bounced on that in a shoebox. The mattress is put up behind the wall. Very, very glamorous little room closet situation we've got going on. But I have been bugging Ben about wanting a Billy Bookcase, and we just never had time to go to Ikea, set it up. But I'm not a perfect person. I'm not, and one of my many faults is that I tend to just like leave shoes around the apartment. I come in the door, Ben immediately takes his shoes off because we have a small shoe rack by the front door. I walk in the apartment, and if the feeling strikes while I'm in the kitchen, I'll then kick off my shoes in the kitchen or in the living room or wherever it is. There's no rhyme or reason to this, people. It's a flaw. And I eventually put my shoes away. Another thing is that I tend to not wear a lot of my shoes because they're all in boxes. They're on another small shoe rack. God, we have so many small shoe racks. I have a lot of shoes. This was instilled in me from a very young age from my mom. The whole shoes always fit thing, like that was a motto in our house. So I have a lot of shoes, and a lot of my nicest shoes, which I'm going to show all of today because I figured this is a great way to do it, right? I have to take them out anywho, might as well do it all. But for example, like all my nicest shoes, they're in boxes, and I'm a little bit lazy. So if something's not right in front of me, I tend not to grab it. Of course, on very, very special occasions, I'll think, yeah, I want to wear those particular shoes. But I don't do it as much as I would like. And so I'm hoping, oh, hi Sherp, when the heck did you get in there? What you doing? What are you doing? Guys, when did she go in there? I guess I'll find out in the editing. This is Sherpa if you haven't met her. She's our baby girl. Yeah. Hi. You excited? You know, I just dusted all in there. Yeah. You know, you're part of the reason why we had to get something with doors. Because of the little fluffy bunnies that you make everywhere. Our house is covered in little dust bunnies. You just see them like rolling across the floor, and I know that it's time to vacuum and dust. Yeah, life with kitties. Okay, I am gonna get started now. I guess I'll start with boots. I have learned a lot of lessons about what works for me and what doesn't. I love platforms. I don't care if it's a trend. I think they are always cool. They come in and out of fashion anyway, so whatever, if I have to be a little less than cool, am I ever cool? No. Like, if I have to not be trendy for a few years, like, whatever, that's fine. But I got these from Zara, and they're actually really, really nice. They're goat skin, and I was impressed with how comfortable they are. They're not like the most padded, the most comfortable thing. Like, I can't wear these for more than a couple hours, but I mean, that's a pretty significant heel. Will these fit on the bottom rack? Yes, they will. Nice. Okay, that's probably the biggest shoe that's going in here, and it still closes. Nice. Oh, I'm so shoe crazy. I know when I got all of these, I remember what I was doing, where I bought them. These are a pair of waterproof Booties from Aquatalia. I absolutely love these boots. I have them in black as well. And of course, they're covered in cat hair. You know how women are when they have pockets in a dress and it's like, oh, I love your dress, and it's like, thank you, it has pockets. That is how I am with these shoes, where, you know, these are definitely attention-grabbing shoes, and when they get complimented, the first thing is like, oh, thank you, they're waterproof. Oh, I love these shoes. They're actually very comfortable and obviously functional because of that small block heel. Up next, we have a pair of shoes that I really don't wear that much anymore, but it's just such a classic little booty. I don't really want to donate it. I don't really know what I want to do. It's got very, very little wear on the heels, but these are from Stuart Weitzman. Unpopular opinion, I don't think Stuart Weitzman boots are that great. I don't. Not for the price. Honestly, most of the boots that I have passed on and donated, I wasn't wearing them, and selling shoes is a pain. Like, I've just donated them to Goodwill. They've mostly been Stuart Weitzman shoes because they were uncomfortable, or they were just too narrow. I got most of these at Nordstrom Rack, so I did get them at a very, very good price. But yeah, these, partly because of the color, because it's so warm. Side note, I love hearing Dale talk about like all the color theory stuff and wardrobe information that she's been learning. And we've talked a little bit about this, where like the one bag that I'm not really reaching for anymore, it's very warm. It's that caramel brown. And same thing with these shoes. I definitely used to dress in predominantly warm tones, but that was like over 5 years ago, and I'm not really doing it anymore. But these shoes, I mean, they are comfortable. They are not the most comfortable boots I wear, so that whole thing about Stuart Weitzman is still very true for me with these. But I'm a little bit lazy, and I don't know if I want to like try to sell them or if I should just donate them after a certain amount of time. I don't know. Okay, so 3 boots can fit comfortably on the bottom, but I could always turn like one back to front and then squeeze more in. I don't know, I guess we'll just see how this goes. Oh, one of my favorite pair of boots, but again, a pair of boots that, a pair that I'm not really reaching for as much, just because, I don't know, I go through these cycles with my preferences, but I don't want to get rid of them because these are incredibly comfortable. These are from Tory Burch. I remember when I saw them on Nordstrom online, and I thought they were gorgeous. Not everyone's taste, but I love them. Perfect little block heel. Again, I mean, that's just the best. I mean, I can't deal with stiletto boots. I don't have any anymore. Those from Stuart Weitzman I've definitely gotten rid of. But I remember seeing these and just loving them, but I couldn't at the time justify. I don't know if I could now, honestly, but I never really know how I feel about price until I'm seeing it in the moment. But I remember at the time, certainly I was not willing to pay $400 roughly, dollars for this, for these boots. And then I found them at Nordstrom Rack, just stumbled on them. Obviously that's kind of how it is just with Nordstrom Rack. You stumble on things, you don't really know what's going to end up there, certainly in store, because people just return things and then it slowly gets reduced. This obviously not being a style for everyone, it did end up quite reduced. I think I paid less than $200. It was probably about like $130, $150 if I remember correctly. Up next, this video is probably gonna be oh wow. Ooh, we've been talking for a while. This video is gonna be long. I'm probably gonna have to like just move through things. I do gently vacuum my shoes, and I'll brush out like the suede shoes occasionally. These are newer shoes. These are from Campbell. They're decent. They're pretty comfortable. They were inexpensive. I think they're very cute. I ended up just not wanting to pay Prada prices for a suede platform shoe, and I still feel a little conflicted about that because these aren't exactly right, but they are very cute. I liked them in their own right. I like the Prada ones more, and I just don't know how I feel about for the price. They're very good quality. I've seen women talk about them in videos where they've had this one pair of shoes for like over 10 years and they still look amazing. Now of course you don't know how much they wear them, yada yada, but I do like these. They weren't exactly, I don't know where I'm going with that, but on the shelf you go. Let's see how many. I'll put like the fun silly shoes. I'm gonna probably have to reorganize all of this. Here we have another pair of shoes I got at Nordstrom Rack. Most of these will have come from Nordstrom Rack, but these are a pair of little Prada kitten heels. I have a thing with slingbacks. Do slingbacks stay up on anyone? Maybe I just really need to tighten them again. I think Prada makes the most comfortable shoes. That and Gianvito Rossi. Definitely. Oh, and Prada. Sorry, like, yeah. Wait. Oh, I started with Prada. This is why I do sit down videos. I don't know where I'm going with this. Yeah, Prada, like, definitely makes some of the best, most comfortable designer shoes. Dior, Chanel, Manolo, even though I have quite a few Manolos, they're all cut so narrow, and I manage with the ones I have. Where do I want to put you? I don't know. Oh no, you're too long. Okay. We'll have to figure that out. Here we have very, very special shoes. I'm almost tempted to keep these in the box, and even in the box, they are in their little sleeping bags. These are my wedding shoes. These are, I know they look black, but they are a rich, rich blue. I love blue velvet. I don't know if maybe I'll have to do cutaways, because yeah, I'm looking at the viewfinder, they just look black. I wore these for my wedding day. I got them at Nordstrom Rack, greatly reduced, and the moment I saw them, I was like, I want to wear those for my wedding one day. And this was maybe 3 or 4 years before Ben and I even got together. I was with somebody else at the time. He and I, we were together for about 5 years. And I also had a feeling that I wasn't going to be wearing these to marry him. So, I mean, as you can imagine, I ended that relationship a while later, but a totally different story. I absolutely love the little dust bags that they give you. And even though it was at Nordstrom Rack, it still had little replacement heel tips and the nice dust bags. I knew I wanted to get married wearing these shoes. And I did, and then I switched into Jeep, very comfortable wedge shoes, white wedge shoes that were not at all visible under my dress. But crazy part of me is really tempted to keep those in the box, and maybe I will, but it'll just depend how all of this works out. I'm curious, let me know, would you keep the boxes for these? I really want to, and obviously when I move, I always just keep things in their boxes. I could always get those like stackable plastic shoe bins, but again, the crazy part of me would hate to throw all of these away. But stacking them up in the closet is obviously a lot of space. I have no idea. What would you do? I don't know if I'm gonna listen to the advice, but like, you know, if everyone says throw them away, maybe. These are some white heels I got last year. They're fantastic, really, really comfortable, solid block heel. I think I have like 1, 2 pairs of little skinny stilettos, and I don't even know if they're stilettos or if they qualify, but these Jean Vita Rossi's have been fantastic. Would you keep all the paper around them? It's not necessary. It's just, I don't know. Am I the crazy one? Maybe. Maybe all the white shoes should be together. They don't look as nice in here with the paper on them, but that's another nice thing about the doors is I feel like it doesn't, I feel like that's okay. I don't know. Paul Green, excellent sandals, love these. Got them last summer and they have Velcro. I have not worn these once this summer because they were in a box. And I wasn't paying as much attention to them. So those need to be out because they're very, very comfortable, very cute. Ooh, Gucci. These are the only Gucci shoes I have. They were my first, these were my first designer shoes. And I almost swore off designer shoes forever because of them. Yeah, the first pair of Manolos, like that was a big leap. These shoes, I don't know, I think I've told this story before, but the quality of the heel was not there. They crumbled. I mean, like this, so they've all been replaced. They're replaced for free by Gucci. I got them at Nordstrom. I love Mary Jane's, absolutely love Mary Jane's. This has like the Gucci ribbon strap, really nice little toe. I love Mary Jane's. And it's not like the skinniest little spindly heel. I wore these once crossing a parking lot, going from my car, not even a big parking lot, I wore them from my car going into a shop. And at the end of the trip, this whole heel had crumbled. The nib, the heel tip. I need to eat breakfast. Oh, okay, that might be good. The heel had just totally crumbled, and I was like, what's that clicking sound? Because you know how there's like the metal support in here that if this is completely worn away, it pokes through and you can hear it tapping on the ground. One wear and this heel was destroyed. I took them into Gucci because Nordstrom was like, not our problem, it's designer. So took them to Gucci, and then it was months of waiting to get them repaired, very little communication. I was reaching out to the store and they were doing their best, but it's just they were getting very little communication back from the warehouse in Italy. They had to ship them abroad and replace the entire heel. Eventually, because it took so long, they refunded me the $50 to fix this. Now, of course, like $50 that wouldn't be very much. It would have been well worth it, but just as like a nice little thing for taking so long, they ended up refunding me the $50. So yeah, so I don't wear these very much, partly because of the box thing, and then partly because I was so worried about the quality and the heel falling apart. My Prada, for example, like all of my Prada shoes, I've worn those a ton, and definitely rougher than these in that one exposure. Okay, getting into Manolos. These were my second pair of Hangisis that I got. You know, definitely some wear on the heels, but nothing terrible. I strongly recommend getting the fabric ones over the satin. I know that the satin colors are stunning, and those probably stretch a little bit nicer, and they're the most classic, all that stuff. But these hold up really well to wear and tear. I mean, I've even been caught in the rain. You can't see any nicks because of the fabric, whereas the satin, I have the satin on the Lurums, and it wears very, very quickly. Obviously, if you get a light color, even more so, but just like any little bit of rubbing, any nicks, very visible on that smooth fabric. But yeah, I love the Macys. Fairly comfortable, not made for wide feet, but I manage. Oh, another pair of brown shoes. These are the shoes that I've been referring to recently when talking about, oh, heels that are in the other room that I need to get, because I now have 3 pairs of those Michael Kors shoes. Am I crazy? Should I just take all this paper out? It doesn't need to be there. This is how it came to me. This is how it arrived, and so I want to keep it like this. I don't know why. It's not necessary, but look how, does that shoe look narrow to anyone else? Like, obviously, or maybe I'm just used to my big wide flippers. But the shoes that I got from Michael Kors recently are so much more comfortable than this. Probably just because of my big wide feet. But I do love the black heel. These are the only rich brown, kind of like this, like, I don't know, cognac? Cognac caramel color? I'm not good with colors. This is the only pair of brown sandals that I have in this shade. Again, with it not being so great with my skin tone, tend not to reach for them anymore. But I'm keeping them. These were my very first Hengisi's, and I think, no, these were maybe my second pair of Manolos, maybe. I got these during the pandemic. I got like $300 off them. They're called bronze. I love this color. It goes with everything. Like between these and the pink, Ben was like, why do you need 2 pairs? Are you going to actually get the wear out of them if you have 2? And I was like, yes, of course I will. I mean, they're so different. You know, you have like the lighter pinky pastel kind of colors, and this is darker, moodier. I love it. Let's see. These might have been my very first pair of Manolos. I got them, I want to say 40 or even 60, maybe 60. Yeah, I'm sure I could look this up. But I got these at Nordstrom, and look at that beautiful color. So uncomfortable, miserably uncomfortable. Really, really painful after about an hour. I might try to stretch these out now that the boot structure will be way too big. However, I know that Nordstrom does stretch heels out for you, so maybe I'll bring them in. This is probably the most spindly little heel I have. Very little wear on them because I've worn them so infrequently. I think I wore them last when I went to a shopping mall somewhere in Massachusetts. Yeah, very beautiful. This patenty bit also keeps it quite firm. So they haven't stretched out with the minimal wear, but they're beautiful. They're obviously not agony the moment I put them on, otherwise I would have returned them. But I did have a feeling when I bought them. But this was 3 years ago now? Yeah, 3 years ago. I had a feeling the moment I put them on, the very first try on, because they were shipped to me, I thought these might hurt. I don't know, but I think I wanted them so much with it being my very first pair of Manolos and with the reduced price. Lesson learned. Don't do that, Megan. Yeah, now whenever I have that sneaky little feeling when I try something on for the first time, it immediately goes back. I have now learned my lesson for the most part. Probably make a mistake, yeah. You go up there. And the Dillards, I love these shoes. They're so, so beautiful. I talked about these in a recent video when I showed my Skechers. When I showed my new Skechers, which I have been wearing most days. Okay, those were 25 bucks, and I just, seems like an odd comparison, but it's where my mind went. I thought about how little I've worn these shoes. I'm glad that I have them. For me, it was definitely worth buying 1 pair. I mean, they're stunning. They're just stunning. And I am hoping that with this setup, I will get a lot more wear out of them. But given, like, you know, the comfort and how impractical they are, I'm good with 1. I think that was my main takeaway. Up next, more Manolos. These are, I believe, the Maysail slingbacks. I showed a little trick once on my Instagram, probably like a year ago, where, because these keep slipping down, especially as they've loosened up, I tied, I think it was like a Chanel ribbon. I don't know if I would actually use a Chanel ribbon for it. I've never actually done this out, but I wore them around my apartment. I like looped a ribbon around my ankle, securing it to this so that they would finally stay up. These are very comfortable. The only thing is this constantly falls down. This is an example of how all over the place Manolo sizing is. So these are a 9.5, it's 39.5. I also have a 10.5. I've tried on 11s in some of their styles that fit me best, but for whatever reason, the 9.5s worked in these and they were much more accommodating for a wider foot. Shoes that I absolutely love. These are the BB pumps. I did try to order more. I got them at, well, I've tried them. I got them from Nordstrom.com. A bunch of them went 40% off. They had the lilac, the green. I also ordered a like fabric. It was white and blue flowers. Well, white base, blue flowers. Because these are fantastic. They're very comfortable. I've worn these to weddings and dance and, you know, run around. They're very, very nice. The ones I got from Nordstrom were not the same. Immediately uncomfortable out of the box. Really difficult to walk in. Like, and I can walk in heels, but it was like I was teetering on stilts in those things. I don't know why I immediately have to. Anytime I'm talking, I'm containing myself. I tend to be more expressive and I immediately have to like do the thing. But these are fantastic. I am very tempted to try to get these in a black. I don't own a pair of black pumps, just like plain suede black pumps. Here we have again a necessary amount of tissue paper, but I can't help but keep them the way that they came. These are my only pair of Ferragamo shoes. They're beautiful. I love this taupe color. It goes really well with my skin tone. And I love the heel. How gorgeous is that? Oh, I love these. Reasonably comfortable. I can't wear them all day. They definitely need more padding. I was a little bit disappointed with that, especially for like the lower block heel. I wanted to be able to wear these all day. And I would say I'm good for a few hours, maybe like 4 hours. I'm pretty comfortable. But one of my very few pairs of Stuart Weitzman shoes left. These are like a cranberry heel, pretty sturdy heel. I have worn these. I've actually worn these on a lot of like business trips where I've had to take the train between like Philly, DC, New York. I've worn these heels in the summertime with some work dresses. They're very comfortable. I love the color. I don't really have anything else to say. I don't know what I'm trying to go for. Oh, Stuart Weitzman, if you don't know this, when you get a pair of shoes from them, or even if you get them somewhere else and you bring them into store, if you have a standalone Stuart Weitzman store, they'll spray them with like their waterproof, like protective stuff. So the suede still looks really, really good. And I do give them a brush down every now and then. Okay, here are my most recent shoe purchases. There's a pink pair in the other room. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen these. These I got at Nordstrom, but I got a price adjustment because they were cheaper at Saks and Macys. They're still available at Nordstrom, and all you have to do is after you order them, after they've shipped, it's really easy to request the price adjustment. You just have to provide a link to the other site and the price. And I think they have to be available in your size. I'm not sure if they really check that, but they might, I don't know. But I do have them in black and white. Originally I ordered this like bone color, this off-white, and the pink with the intention of only keeping one of them, but they were so immediately comfortable. I've worn these several times now to Ikea and running errands. I love the heel, a little kind of like just a little bit of flare out, so it's like a nod to the trend without being overly trendy, and it has the benefit of being really stable. So yeah, if I'm gonna buy into any trend, it's definitely one that lends comfort. So I ended up keeping both the white and the pink because I loved them both. I really wanted a pair of like just white simple sandals, partly because the Gianvita Rossi ones are getting some wear on them, and I mean, it's a white sandal, what can you expect? Gotta wear your things. And then the black, with it being such a good price and not really having black strappy sandals, I got all of them. Yeah. I'm actually being quite good. I'm resisting getting the powder blue. They still have my size. Put these up here. Okay, we have kind of a system. Fancy shoes, block heels, boots. I got all the boots to fit on the bottom. Oh, those. Oh my gosh, I have too many shoes. Okay. Yeah, I might need to get rid of some of these. These are a nice pair. I got these this year. These are from Naturalizer. I have been moving towards inexpensive shoes. I think I went a little bit nuts during the pandemic when I was home and ordering things. There were a lot of discounts because they were trying to encourage consumers to shop, and yeah, I played into that. I was happy to be able to get the things I have, obviously. I'm very happy with the Manolos I have. I'm not probably going to be buying many more. These are really comfortable. A tiny platform, and I love Mary Jane's. I think they're so cute. Let's see. I don't know where I want to put you. Right, here we have the pink pair that I was talking about earlier. I love them. Absolutely love them. Again, I've worn them once, and there is no wear and tear, as you'd expect. And that's why I found the Gucci situation so shocking. I mean, I felt sick. I felt absolutely sick because those were maybe about $700, $750, and at the time they were the most money I'd ever spent on shoes. It was, how long ago was this? I was living in Philly. 5 years ago? I was sick, like, at just spending that amount of money on shoes. And then having them be damaged immediately, I was not expecting that. So that's why that situation was so frustrating. Obviously, built up a little bit of a tolerance. Whether that's a good thing or not can be debated. But I love these shoes. If they're still available, I'll link them down below. Obviously, none of that is like affiliate links or anything. But they're fantastic. They're the Clara sandal, or I think some places have called them a mule. The name varies whether you're looking at Macys, Saks, but they always call them the Clara. That's a little bit frustrating, honestly, but eh. Everything? How long have we been doing this? Ooh, wow. Oh, since they're here, these were actually my other wedding shoes. So maybe I'll make a video about this if anyone's interested, like, because we had a very unusual wedding. It was a pandemic wedding, so obviously it was a little different, but it was perfect for us. We loved it. Oh, this is really starting to get stiff, but I wore the Prada velvet shoes to town hall where we got married, and then I put these on for the rest of the day because we got married, I think it was at 11 a.m. and then just had a blast the rest of the day running around town, and yeah, we planned it all out. It was fantastic. But I wanted running around shoes that could potentially get trashed. Everyone said, I mean, I didn't look into a lot of reviews for weddings because I knew we were doing our own thing and it was going to be different. But a lot of people said that they wish they hadn't spent so much money on wedding shoes, because even with a very traditional wedding, you know, get married and then have a reception inside, a lot of people said that either their feet were aching by the end of the night or they trashed, absolutely trashed their really expensive wedding shoes. And I figured since you can't see them anyway, I would just get these. But these are Cole Haan, super, super padded and comfortable. They're not really my style, to be honest. They're okay. They're certainly not ugly, but the main benefit, like the main reason I got them is that they were simple, white, comfortable shoes that wouldn't get seen. They're okay. Maybe again, if they're more front and center, I'll reach for them. But I can't get rid of them. I'm so sentimental. Even if I never wear them again, they were the shoes from my wedding day. Oh. Let's see. Do these have a place in here? Oh, wow, that filled up really quickly. Eeh. Okay. I don't know. Maybe could I put shoes on top? I don't know. So in my crazy brain, I really thought this wouldn't fill up so quickly. And I thought, oh, you know, maybe if there's room, I could have like little bags on display. I got these, you know, little acrylic display stands, and I'm so obsessive with my beaded bags. I originally just, like, this can sit like this, but obviously the weight, the corners start to dip down. So me being obsessive, I would probably have 2 little back supports for it. I was planning on having something like this in display in there as well, but we filled that up really quickly. Wow, nice. Ugh. I would love to tell you that these are all the shoes I have, but that's not true. Okay, these are all of my fancy schmancy shoes. Mostly then it's just sneakers, kick around shoes, sandals. Maybe I'll have some cutaways of those disasters, but I am hoping I can be better organized now that this shelf, this, can't think, need more coffee and food. Now that this little shoe rack is free, I can have something for my everyday shoes. These are obviously, I don't want to say special occasions because I do wear heels out to grocery stores and things like that. But these are a lot more accessible. I say that, I've been really lazy in the past few months, but these have brought me back to wearing heels casually because they're so darn comfortable. Oh, love them. Okay, maybe that's where we'll end it for now. This video is certainly long enough. I'm gonna figure out what to do with this. Like I said, the rest of the room is a disaster. I would love to give you a tour, but I don't want to do that because it's horrible. There is a bookshelf right next to this and it's a mess. It has lots of documents and old I have school notebooks, okay? If you want a little like dive into my crazy, I have my old like math school notebooks and things, and textbooks, and then it merged with Ben's stuff. We also have a record player on top of it. It's a mess. So I think I will end it here. Thanks for hanging out with me while I get this sorted. I think we're settled. I think we're good. I see a pile of shoes right over there, which again, I'm just way too embarrassed to turn the camera around and show you. But I'll give you a peek at the other closet in a minute, but thanks. And I don't really know how to sign out from this because it's different. Bye!